The London Sevens group stages are done and dusted, but now the next challenge, the quarterfinals. In this preview, we will be looking at the game between Samoa and Great Britain, which will include looking through at previous fixtures, the key players to watch out for, and then, of course, a prediction at the end. But jumping straight into it, looking through at Samoa's previous fixtures. They were a part of Pool C for the London Sevens. Their first game up against the French, winning at 28 points to 21. A hard-fought victory, but they got there in the end, the Samoans, and a great way to start off their London Sevens campaign. They then had their second biggest challenge of the group stages. That was up against Australia, but they were able to win that game, 24 points to 14. So they started off extremely well. Pretty much after those two wins, they had already booked themselves through to the quarterfinals, but their last game up against the Spanish, they managed to get themselves 40 points on the board. Spain only the 17. So 3 from 3, the Samoans are sitting heading into their quarterfinals. Then for GB, they got off to a great start in a similar fashion to what Samoa did by beating one of the top sides. It was South Africa that they were able to beat, 19 points to 15. That was their first victory. Their next game, they came head-to-head with New Zealand. Didn't quite get on the right side of the victory for that one, 20 points to 5. They were defeated, and in their most recent game up against the USA, they did manage to squeeze the victory, 21 points to 19, which actually meant the USA, they missed out on the quarterfinals altogether. But looking through at key players for these two sides, for the Samoans, there's one player who will come to mind when anyone looks through at the stats for this London Sevens, and that is Va'apilo. Now the thing is, he was able to score himself 4 tries in that most recent game up against the Spanish, only one of which was set up by himself. Now that sounds a bit weird to say, but pretty much what is happening at the moment in the world of Rugby Sevens is there's a bit of a head-to-head competition going on between Va'apilo and Marcos Maneta for who will be the overall series leading try scorer, and they're neck and neck. So Va'apilo, his teammates were breaking the line, getting over the try line, and then passing the ball off to Va'apilo to be able to score it. So this was an effective tactic, because now at the point of the Samoans defeating Spain, he was 2 tries ahead of Marcos Maneta, and Argentina losing their most recent game to Ireland, only being able to score the 2 tries, did mean that Marcos Maneta heading into these quarterfinals is just that little bit behind Maliko. So he's certainly a player to watch out for, because I think that will extend to more than just that game yesterday, seeing as it is so close between the two. And if they do have the ability of scoring a lot of tries up against Great Britain, I'm sure they will take the opportunity to give them to Maliko. Another player to watch out for, Malani Matavao. He was able to convert quite a few of those tries scored in the last contest. There's also added a few tries into his column for the London Sevens. And then the last Samoan player to watch out for, I'm going to go with Fuli Fa'afoina. The reason I go with him, he scored 2 tries in that last game up against Spain. Didn't really get the opportunity to offload it to Va'apilo, so instead had to score them himself, coming off a double. He's only recently been added into the Samoan side as well, so a big opportunity for him if they do choose to play him in this quarter-final fixture. Then for Great Britain, their most recent game up against the USA, like I mentioned, the 3 try scorers from that game, Sofalarin, Robbie Ferguson, and Kalen Barreto. They all scored relatively early on in the match, and it was the USA with that later try of Anufe just to make it that bit closer. Still, GB able to get themselves the victory, so certainly watching out for those 3 players in the next game up against the Samoans. Also, I'm going to chuck in Api Bavadra. Just with that extra bit of size, I feel like that works quite well up against the Samoan team. And maybe with an offload or 2, could create some GB chances throughout this quarterfinal. Now we are up to that stage of the predictions. I've been a bit 50-50 with getting them right throughout the London Sevens so far. I would say for this game, very hard to predict, because both sides, I feel they have that same scenario of you don't know what team's going to show up. Sometimes Great Britain play absolutely phenomenally. Sometimes they lose 50-0 like they did last week. And to lose Samoa, but the same. They've been great so far throughout their first 3 matches. 3 from 3 wins. But then is it this game that they are going to go downhill? It's definitely a waiting game, but I'm going to say the Samoans do get themselves the victory, 26 points to 14 in this quarterfinal. So we will see how close we are But we are going to be doing the live commentary on the channel, so be sure to tune in for that as well. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.